You're listening to the Midwest's most dangerous podcast, Lock Pod. That's Left of Center Podcast, Season 18, Episode 12, coming to you live from the NECA IBEW Power in Indiana Lake County Studios.
Not much happened between when we signed off and when we signed. See what happens when you're not, when Lock Pod's not on the air?
All right, let's come clean. We found out before the show last time.
Barely.
I told the studio. I was driving in the other day to
Friday.
Lock Pod studio. So what? 6 in the morning.
7:25.
Well, yeah, I was coming in at like 7, and I got a text from the Speaker of the House, Todd Houston, and it was along the lines of, "Congratulations, Mayor! I'm so proud of you guys. I'm so proud to see how Lake County reacts to this. I can't wait." And I was like, "What?" like 7 in the morning, getting that text, and I hadn't heard anything other than that text.
So in other words, nothing from the governor's office, nothing from the team.
No, I hadn't heard at that point. So I was like, I texted Todd back. And I'm like, "Mr. Speaker, I don't know what you're talking about. Please."
I mean,
clarify.
you had an idea.
I had
you're
an
just
idea,
like,
right.
okay, what do you know
Right.
that I don't know? Right.
So I'm literally sitting in the parking lot, and he calls me, and we talk for 5 minutes, and it was just, "Yeah, I'm so proud of you guys. You guys did such a good job. I'm so happy for Indiana. I'm so happy for the region." And I was just like, "Wow." Getting ready to go, and I'm like, "When is this going to be announced?" Because I knew I couldn't announce it on Lockpod. I'm literally in the parking lot of the
Could you
studio.
imagine? We've had one of those incidents
Yeah.
already this month, this season.
Yeah, right.
We didn't.
Yeah. So he was like, "No, the team's going to put out a press release within the next couple hours.
Nice.
You guys are going to be buried. Just get ready." And I was just like, so I came in and I told the studio, I told Jill and John and Kevin, and we were all like high-fiving. I was like, "We cannot say anything on the air. This is the team's announcement." And if you want to know, because I've heard a lot of people say, "Man, I wish I saw what you look like when you found out the Bears came to town." All you have to do is watch Lockpod. Last episode. By the way, John, it was a good episode too. We were like on our
There was nothing but high emotion.
We were like laughing and making jokes, and like it was a really good episode.
It was a really all I remember,
as opposed to today. This is your normal quality episode.
It's your normal
Last
medium
episode.
quality. By the way, we do have a good episode coming. We've got Corinne Straight obviously on for our second segment, and then we've got a great guest from Indianapolis who I saw over the weekend, and a friend of the show and a friend at Mayor Tom's for a long time, and that's Vop Osili. And Vop is a current councilman a counselor in Indianapolis, and he's running for mayor.
Yeah. So we got Straight Talk coming up after this segment, and then we got Vop Osili coming up after that. So
And we might even see Zach Brown.
yeah,
Look at
hopefully
this.
we see Zach, my former campaign manager. He runs Vop Osili's campaign, so I know Zach's in town. I'm not sure.
I think he's coming.
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
Yes.
but anyway, so the other day after the show,
Looking back, hold on. Looking back, you can watch the show and easily see that you had heard the news.
Oh,
I mean, when you started like kind of trailing off in your talk, like about, hey, if we do get the Bears, we're gonna have to expand the police force and the fire.
Yeah.
It's already
Yeah.
thinking, right?
Well, I've been
I mean,
thinking-
it was topical. I mean, that
Yeah,
was.
I know.
I mean, that was all topical.
I
And
mean, we were
thought-
still talking like that.
Yeah, and I think you could definitely hear. What I noticed was just we seemed to be in a real good mood.
Yeah, we were in
You
great
know.
mood. If you catch us all in a great mood at the same time, something's going on.
Something's
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, I mean, one of us is always
Unlike
sour.
today.
Right. Yeah. See, this is normal. We're all pissy, tired. Last show we were like on our A game. And,
Right.
John, do you have a clip from the last show?
yeah.
I do have a clip.
Let's see what this clip is.
Okay. So this kind of blew up on social media over the weekend because this was said in the last show.
I was high last show.
High on life.
High on life.
Because you were so excited.
That's right.
Let's talk about this because a lot of people are watching because of this. And let's-
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, really?
So
that's really.
Let's
I
see-
see normal numbers. I hate to say it.
Not on my
It's
end.
our normal audience size.
like, wait,
right
the
now.
numbers are the
I don't
same.
really think it's that much bigger.
I have an aggregate count, and that's okay. Anyways, here it is.
Yeah,
You
okay.
can take off
If
my
the
shirt.
Bears choose Hammond, Tom goes topless on Lockpot. How about
That's
that?
fine.
Oh,
That's
no.
fine.
Wow,
I'll
you
do
heard it
push-ups.
here.
I'll do push-ups on this table.
There you go.
And like push-ups meaning 3.
All right, chat. Remember this. Remember this moment.
Push-ups on the table if the
Topless.
Bears go. Topless push-ups
Second
right here.
base right here. with
And
the mayor.
amongst all these nasty flowers everywhere.
Okay.
It's fun.
Well, we could close out the show with me doing push-ups.
All right. I like that.
We can close out the show. Do I have to do it topless for real?
That's up to you and our fans.
And chat.
I'm worried, the Chicago media is going to take that. Because, Ben Johnson went topless last season. It was a big deal.
It was a big deal. But it was a good pub because he had some really, he had a six-pack. And you look like you have a six-pack. Yeah, I know. And
I don't have a six-pack.
You're almost busting out of that shirt.
I have a two-pack, not a six-pack.
I think you know what, though? I appreciate the fact that you were very easily accessible shirt that could easily be unbuttoned and you could do
I like
push-ups.
this shirt. I wear this shirt often, Kevin.
It wasn't just for push-ups?
No, I did not wear it for fucking push-ups.
I have to admit something. Like, now that you've revealed that we all knew about the Bears announcement on that show, I kind of said that knowing this was going to come full circle.
I know.
Okay.
I know. You knew that. And
it was a setup. He was taking advantage of your emotions.
I know. Obviously. Like,
you feel
John
used?
put it out there like, hey, man, you got to go topless. I'm like, what the fuck? What am I going to be now? Nope. I'm not going topless if the Bears come.
I agree. What are you going to say at that point?
I know. I think John just wants to see me
It was a setup, John.
Yeah. I've seen Tom topless before.
Yeah, it's true.
And that's why you wanted everyone to see him topless, or what?
Yeah. The numbers have shot up. I'm not kidding.
My man
that.
boobs would be all over, hitting the table.
You've already got a good tan, dude.
Once my man boobs hit the table, I get to go back up on the push-up, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Or your gut.
I go down,
whatever.
gut or man boob hit table, then you go back up.
You're like, my elbows aren't even...
One of my nipples hit.
Oh, all right. Here we go.
So anyway, I leave the studio, and I get a phone call from Kevin Warren. And that was the official phone call. I was waiting for that. So I don't know if he was listening to Lockpod or not, but I literally got out of the studio. Kevin Warren called. We talked for a few
CEO of
minutes.
the Bears, right?
Yeah, the president of the Bears. We talked for a few minutes. He said, we're making the announcement on Hammond this morning. Mayor, appreciate you. Thanks for everything you guys have done. I'm looking forward to working with you guys. And I was just like, thank you, Mr. Warren. I'm so excited, blah, blah, blah. Hammond's going to be so good to you guys.
And Kevin Warren's not only someone that he is somebody that you've developed a relationship over this. Not like this is your first call from Kevin Warren, right?
Yeah, we've met, talked over the months that we've been dealing with this. So they made the announcement, and
here's that announcement right here. Yeah.
Yesterday, the Chicago Bears Board of Directors met and voted in advance our stadium development project in Hammond, Indiana. With the exact site to be selected, we believe a world-class stadium project in Hammond will transform the region, connecting northwest Indiana to the south side of Chicago, through the loop and across neighborhoods and suburbs stretching north of the city. It will bring Chicagoland together and deliver new opportunities to its residents and businesses.
Great statement.
And then, the Chicago media was quick to point out the line in here, where is it? With the site to be selected.
With the exact site to be selected.
That makes sense to anybody involved in the project. I hate to break it to you, Chicago media. It makes total sense to anybody involved in the project. There's more than one site in Hammond the Bears are looking at.
Yeah, and I think looking at this sentence...
Could I let that set in for a second, Kevin?
Sure.
There's more than one site in Hammond the Bears are looking at. That's a fact. Okay? And I could say it out loud, and they're trying to figure out which one will work best for them.
Yeah, and I think what I was going to say, as everybody lets that settle in, is that if you just look at the sentence structure, I mean, not to be too technical about this, but like it says, our stadium development project in Hammond, Indiana, comma, with the exact site to be selected. It doesn't say our stadium development project with the exact site to be selected. It says in Hammond, Indiana.
Right.
And by the way, for anybody in Indiana that's wondering, the Indiana code already defines city for this project as Hammond. So there's really not really much to be determined.
So in Indiana, there's only one city
under the
authorized.
code, right? Yeah,
under that law that was passed, the Bears bill.
Correct.
It's only
cities
Hammond.
Defined as Hammond.
Right. So I think what Chicago media is trying to make it sound like is we're still in the game. Chicago's still in the game. Arlington Heights is still in the game. I don't know.
Yeah, I saw Senator Buckner issue a statement basically saying like it's vague. It's this.
It's vague on the site in Hammond.
That's the way I read it.
They said we're working with Hammond. Site to be selected.
Right. Our stadium development project in Hammond, Indiana.
Right. And in Indiana.
Or elsewhere.
In Indiana, Chicago media, in Indiana, there's only one city that could possibly get the Bears under the Bears bill. They would have to go back into special session, or they'd have to wait until January next year to start their next session to change that if they wanted to change it in Indiana.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. Okay. On the other side of the border, for Illinois to be part of this process, they have to go into special session themselves, and there's no plan to call a special session in Illinois. So there's only one site the Bears are looking at, Chicago media. There's only one site. That's Hammond, Indiana. Site to be selected, which means there's more than one site in Hammond the Bears are looking at. and they're going to decide among those sites which one they want to build on. And then we're going to build it exactly where they want it, exactly how they want it. They could have anything they want. It's a blank slate.
Yep. Wow. So I think that's... And
I'm excited, actually. I'm more excited about the latest development. I'm more excited than I was before.
I'm with you.
I'm way more excited, actually.
Yeah, because the last...
And we can't really get into too many details, but it's an incredible development that happened last week.
Yeah, and I think that this announcement is an incredible development because I'm even more excited in a way of this announcement than I was when the legislation passed, and that was a big day, February 19th.
Kevin,
219 day.
I was always the original plan that we've been running with for months that we thought was the plan.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't worried about it because, of course, the Bears development is the most important thing for him right now. Okay, so I wasn't worried. I was worried a little bit about some of the fallout, to be honest. But this latest development, if we can make this work, it's 1,000% grand slam for the Bears, for the city, for the state, for the fans. It's this latest development is.
Are you referring to a location? Or just this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, the stadium development project. So I mean,
Yes.
they're working with the state. They're working with their consultants on figuring out where exactly. That's why this statement's important. Where
With the exact
exactly
site to be.
where exactly they're figuring out where to put it.
Yes.
Whoa.
In
this is
Hammond.
exciting.
Yeah.
In Hammond.
Yeah, in Hammond. And by the way,
We just assumed for a long time. I think a lot of people are making assumptions. They say this site in Hammond, and
Right.
then they show the Lost Mars
and the pavilion.
Yeah,
Right.
because that
And the
meeting
lake.
leaked. That meeting leaked, right?
But
For
there's a
the
lot of stuff in this story, John, that's been not true. That's the thing is stuff leaks. Remember, for the longest time we were talking about Gary, Indiana, and I mean,
Portage, who knows where.
I think Gary was the one that caught fire.
Sure.
That was the one that I think most of the people in the Chicagoland area thought Gary was going to get it.
Well, you remember Mayor Melton and his group and his team put out a big, several different areas.
Right.
They were aggressive about what
And
they
then
did in
the
the media.
Chicago media grabbed it.
Sure.
And for weeks, we were talking about the Bears are going to locate into Gary, Indiana. We were talking about that. And we were all under NDAs, and we couldn't say anything to contradict that. Right. And so the Chicago media for weeks was talking wrongly about this project, saying that if it goes to Indiana, it's going to go to Gary. And we knew all along that was not the case in Hammond.
You were so quiet.
I was not quiet. I was punching holes in the wall. You know that, John.
Quiet publicly.
No, quiet publicly.
Yes.
You
Privately.
were radio silence on social media, and I was like,
Fuming.
there's-
It was a lot of fun behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I was fuming. I was pissed at my team. I was pissed at the NDA. I was pissed because I was like, this is ridiculous. Hammond is finally getting recognized like we want it to get recognized, and I couldn't say a word
And
about
look what
it.
happened. It is.
I know. Okay. It's nice how it worked out. I
Yes.
acknowledge, but it was a very frustrating period for me going through that process
everyone.
where I couldn't talk. And then the general perception was it was going to go to Gary or it was going to go to Portage. It wasn't coming to Hammond. We were never even mentioned. That was frustrating.
It was very frustrating.
Yes.
But now we've got headline upon headline, and here you go.
Here.
These are just a couple pictures of some of the day after. These are Saturdays.
Pride and Joy of Indiana, Chicago Tribune, front page.
Yep.
Nice, right?
The local paper, the NWI Times.
That region, Bears.
Leaders
Okay.
welcome stadium decision.
Right.
My favorite was the Sun Times.
Intercepted on the Sun Time. It's got the Hammond Bears logo on the side.
with a H instead of a C. That's
right.
kind of funny.
Intercepted. Okay.
And there was actually on the flip side on the Sun Times sports page, it had a Bears logo crying, and it was saying "Say it isn't so" or "Say it ain't so" or something like that with the editorial. So that was interesting.
Yeah.
So obviously different, versions of either celebration or concern depending on what side of the state line.
The
you're on.
marquee all throughout Hammond had the Welcome Chicago Bears logo, and people were stopping in front of the marquee and taking pictures. It was so cool.
Yeah, this was actually
that
from
was Jill from the
Yeah,
studio.
good job, Jill.
Jill's in charge of the boards across the city. It's one of her responsibilities, and she is very Jill, as you all know, she's very timely and she understands timing very well, and she got that up quick, and it turned out to be a huge hit. So that was
This
great.
is from the Skycam.
That was from the Skycam of WGN TV, the Chicago Welcome Chicago Bears.
And then Jill also
Hammond,
did
future
this.
home of the Chicago Bears. That's my screensaver on my Facebook.
Also from Jill.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did a great job with this too.
And then this is all nice stuff.
Who did this? This
Dude,
is
that looks
great.
like John Hamm, doesn't it?
It does look like John Hamm.
Yeah.
I know. It's supposed to be me.
Although that is
Outside of-
kind of your pose. I have seen you with that left hand in your pocket when you're at the you're at the podium.
That's my move.
Mm-hmm.
But it's got a statue
What does
of
that
me.
say on the
up.
bottom? Who signed that?
I don't know.
Ryan something.
Yeah, Ryan
but,
somebody.
What's
Ryan Poles.
funny enough, in chat, someone just posted this comment. If the Bears come to Hammond, Mayor Tom will have secured his place in history. This would be a
as if he hasn't already, but this is a big one.
Took me 23 years.
I think you're already pretty good, so this was just cementing it.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is the podium says Southern Nevada. See, this is AI.
Yeah,
right?
AI.
I mean, obviously it's AI, but this is the problem with AI.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
I love this one.
Oh, come on.
What?
Welcome to Indiana.
I didn't do it, dude.
Pritzker
This is stuff
with
people are sending
mustard
me.
on his shirt.
I know, dude. It's not
Okay.
nice. It's not nice. But
That's
somebody
not
sent that to
nice.
me. I mean, Brandon Johnson's not exactly small in that either. It's got me running I'm in a fighting Illini
Yeah, I was going to say, it
uniform.
looks like more like an Illini uniform.
I know. I'm in a fighting Illini uniform, running from Pritzker and Brandon Johnson, and I scored a touchdown. And it says
"Welcome
the
to
Bears and the Mayor. Yeah. There's we're gonna change our logos all across the city.
Oh, yeah.
Hammond Water Department. That's their proposal.
Their
with
drip?
The drip with the Bears jersey on. Yeah.
Does the drip have a name besides just the drip?
The drip is a good name.
Is it like Danny the Drip? Or
Danny the
I don't know
Drip?
if you want to be called a drip. So
Yeah.
And I got to show this. This is a long time, one of our biggest fans of the show,
Bowditch?
Bowditch. This is down in Key West right now.
Hammond Bears.
That's the famous Key West sign.
This is real.
Get the fuck
No, it
outta
is
here.
not.
It is. It is.
Come on. That's
Hammond
not AI.
Dude.
Bears. No, that's real.
Wait a minute.
Key West is now on board.
The
That
Key
is
West,
so freaking cool.
I got to ask Bowditch and Chad if that's real. That is not real.
Bowditch, come out and tell us.
I love it.
That's the famous Key West sign, and someone put Hammond Bears to the west.
Yep.
Okay.
That's pretty cool. Very cool.
All right. Kevin, I know Kevin just got back so that's our Bears talk for the day. You know, I know that's not the
That's
longest
it?
Bears. But
People are clamoring in chat about the stuff you're not saying, like locations.
Well, that's
Yeah.
that's why you have to listen to Lockpod for
Listen.
the next couple seasons.
Location is top secret. You're not going to get it out of me. Okay. I hate to say it to you guys. I'm
All
not.
right,
You're
Chad.
I'm gonna get asked 20 different ways, and I'm not gonna give that up because that's what we're working on right now. It's literally once the Bears figure out which of the few locations they're looking at is the final, then we pull the trigger, have a press conference, and we start building that sucker. So. And the Bears are coming to Hammond, Indiana. I hate,
Can you play that?
I'm so excited about that. I'm so excited about that. And I'm not worried about the ambiguity because it makes sense to me because I'm part of the deal. So
Here's here's Speaker Houston talking about the deal.
People who have a little bit of hesitancy, what would you say? This is a done deal?
Done deal. This is going to happen in Hammond, Indiana, and we can't wait to start putting shovels in the dirt. They're coming to Hammond, Indiana.
There you go.
I couldn't hear it in my headphones, but yeah. Speaker Houston. That's Todd Houston. You heard it in your headphones?
Yeah.
I did not.
It was only on one side though.
Oh.
Maybe that's why
Yeah,
you're
that's
doing
the
Navy.
problem.
You're
So,
doing
yeah.
Yeah.
submarine.
So
headphones.
anyway, yeah, it's I'm by the way, tomorrow morning, for those of you who want to hear more, I'm going to be on the Score Radio tomorrow morning, 104.3 tomorrow morning with Molly and Ha.
There you
And I
go.
imagine we'll talk more about this, and they're going to try to probably get me to slip, and I'm not going to.
Good thinking.
But yeah, and we are stacked up against it today because we have Corinne coming in, and we have Vop Osili coming in, so we do have to get moving. But I will be on the Score tomorrow. I was the reins were taken off a little bit. I could talk about the deal a little bit now. I talked to the state yesterday, and they said pick and choose your favorite media outlets, and
So you're going with
don't
the
do a
Score.
press conference.
Oh,
Pick and
there you
choose
go.
your favorite. So I'm going on the Score tomorrow. I'll do a couple here and there. So I know I'm doing Inside Indiana Business too. So
With
Gary Dick.
Gary Dick.
Yeah,
That's
So,
good.
How was the state convention, Kev?
State convention was very interesting. It was obviously attended by a ton of people, 2,300 delegates. Ran into all kinds of people that were congratulating the mayor on the Bears and asking me to make sure I let him know how awesome it is and how exciting it is for the state. Ran into some old friends and folks that have been on the show before, of course, like former chairman Mike Schmuel, who's now got his own consulting business, helping Mayor Pete Buttigieg, helping Beau Bayh, along with Dan Parker, who used to be state chair. Those are two former state chairs that know the mayor very well, and wanted me to pass along their, congratulations and stuff to the mayor. Dan used to be chief of staff, I think, and head of public works
for
Mayor
Joe
Hegseth.
Mm-hmm.
So that was cool. We had breakfast at Patachou, one of my favorite spots in Indy.
I love Patachou.
Yeah, Patachou's great. Had my sourdough bread.
I make it a point to eat breakfast.
Without
there.
a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. So that was good. Obviously, the big race down in Indianapolis was Secretary of State. We had both Blythe Potter and Beau Bayh on the show. I think this season, right, Tom?
Yeah.
I think it was both in season 18.
No, I think it was last season. But
was it? Okay, 17 or 18, yeah. And this was, it's a delegate race, kind of what the Republicans, and by the way, that was a big talk, was the Republican convention that's coming up on the 20th. with Diego, and I got a distinct feeling that the Democrats were hoping that Diego gets nominated. But in the meantime, the only race really, because there was state controller and state treasurer, those were only one person running, and that was by acclamation. And then for Secretary of State, it was Beau and Blythe. They both gave great speeches, I thought. I would say this, just as Mayor Tom predicted, he said Beau was probably going to win, but Blythe was going to have a good run. She did. I would say her supporters were very vocal and very excited. So they were very energized. Beau obviously had a ton of supporters, and that showed in the vote. The vote was 61-39. Beau had 1385. Blythe had 883. Robin Winston ran the convention. He was the permanent chair. And the mayor of Evansville, Mayor Stephanie, nominated Beau, and Destiny Scott Wells nominated Blythe. And that's how it went down. Beau won. Beau's our nominee, and I think it's exciting for the state, especially if the Republicans nominate Diego. I think we got a shot. So
there's no way the Republicans are nominating Diego. There's no way.
I'm wishing it. I'm stating it. I'm trying to wish it.
That's exactly why they're not going to nominate Diego.
Yes, because people like me want them to nominate
the
Diego.
Democratic Party is like hoping and praying that Diego gets the nomination. That's why he's not going to get the nomination. That's why you've had all this drama on the Republican side where Max Engling is being pushed by Jim Banks and Todd Rokita. The reason is they know that Diego's weak, and they know that Diego would lose to Beau, and there's no way they're going to let that happen.
Kind of reminds me when we thought we had Pence beat.
Yeah.
And then they, nominated, Pence went off to a helicopter in Manhattan, became Trump's vice presidential nominee, and then Holcomb, who was very much, at the time, liked by many, was an easy winner.
Then Trump tried to kill him, remember that?
And then Trump tried to hang, or Trump's people tried to, or the tourists at the Capitol tried to hang Mike Pence.
All
right, let's do some ads.
Congratulations to Beau Bayh.
Yes, hopefully we'll have him on again.
Win. Congratulations to Blythe on running a good campaign.
Yep.
It's time to move forward. Lick our wounds and move forward.
That's right. Unite and get somebody elected statewide for the first time in 12 years.
That's what you're supposed to do.
That's what we try to do.
All right. So anyway, let's go ahead and do some ads. When we come back, we're going to have some straight talk with Corinne. Always a great part of our week, listening to Corinne live from Elkhart, Indiana. So
and then we're going to have Vop on right after.
And then Vop will be on right after, so in studio. So Powering Indiana Lake County, our premier studio sponsor. Powering Indiana Lake County is your source for the region's most trusted electricians. At Powering Indiana Lake County, we set the standard for excellence in electrical work. As IBEW Local 697 electrical contractors, we ensure safety, reliability, and quality for Northwest Indiana corporations, businesses, and homes. But our mission goes beyond the job site. We're creating a brighter future for the region we proudly serve. Powering Indiana Lake County, bringing excellence to the job, creating a brighter future for our community. Find the right electrical contractor at poweringindiana.org.
Calumet Brewing, this Bud's for you. For 150 years, Budweiser has farmed, brewed, and bottled all across America. Thanks to hardworking Americans and the highest quality American farmed ingredients, we're not just made in America, we're made of America. Budweiser is also the official beer of the Chicago Cubs and will be celebrating alongside their 150th anniversary this season. Go Cubs, go. I didn't say that with much enthusiasm. Enjoy beers and cheers to 150 years responsibly.
Prestmer Insurance Agency. For decades, the Ron J. Prestmer Insurance Agency has been located right on Indianapolis Boulevard, serving all your insurance needs. The Prestmer Agency specializes in a wide range of insurance products and services, including auto, home, business, life, and more. The Prestmer Agency serves thousands of people and businesses throughout Chicagoland and the Midwest. Call Ron or Ronnie today at 219-844-0103. They're here to protect what matters most to you. Hablamos Español.
Byway Brewing is a family-friendly microbrewery with a spacious tap room and outdoor patio serving its award-winning craft beer, chef-driven food menu, and craft cocktails on draft. Their brewing equipment and production facility offer a unique backdrop for events like bridal showers, reunions, or corporate parties. With their amazing food truck, they can cater to your corporate and private event off-site. Just off of 8094 at the Kennedy Avenue South exit, let them show you that customer service is their top priority. Check out more at bywaybrewing.beer.
Tortillas Nuevo Leon is the gold standard in Mexican cuisine across the Midwest. Look for Tortillas Nuevo Leon's popular red and white label at your local grocery store and enjoy quality Mexican products made with local expertise.
Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia de todo corazón. Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia de todo corazón.
Thanks to our sponsors.
Including our studio sponsors, Power in Indiana, Lake County.
Ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. As we do every Tuesday in the second segment, we go to Straight Talk, live from Evansville. Straight Talk with Corinne. How's it going, Corinne? Evansville. Elkhart.
Elkhart.
I got it right the first time.
You
Sorry.
did.
Yeah.
It's, you know what? It starts with an E. Whatever.
We're just keeping people on their toes. I don't want them to know exactly where you are.
Yeah, that's right. Your mystery location.
Yeah. That's right.
My mystery location, Elkhart County.
Yeah. What's up, Corinne?
Well, good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Corinne.
It's good to see you both. I really liked, Kevin, that you're like, oh, I didn't say go Cubs go with very much enthusiasm.
It's been rough. Tom and I both.
We're going to need to take that from the top, Kevin, all right? Come on.
Yeah,
a little more enthusiasm.
Tom and I are down on them, but
they suck.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
You know what? That's the perennial issue.
Yes.
So this weekend, on Monday mornings when you kind of wake up and start to see the news, usually weekends are slow. That's not been our reality for the last few years, but generally in the news, weekends are kind of slow. This weekend, 2 insanely humiliating things happened to the United States on the world stage. And one of them kind of overshadowed the other, but I think the other is really important to talk about. So I'm sure everybody has seen Donald Trump, which as a former TV producer, the giggles that I let out before I even watched the interview, just seeing him posed in a barn in front of tractors in Iowa.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Right? It's just the most okay, how do we make it look like we know what Iowa does?
He was in Wisconsin, I thought.
They were in Iowa.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's funny. You mentioned, now that you mentioned that, Kristen Welker said something about Wisconsin.
No, you're right. Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Which was really funny to me because it's the same thing. Yeah. So it's kind of like, oh, we're going to sit in a barn. We're going to be in front of tractors,
right.
because I'm really screwing over farmers right now. And we really want to nail that home. It's the same thing when they come to Indiana and they're like, oh, let's find a barn with a basketball hoop on it. They don't know how to
race
relate.
Cars in the background. Right?
Race cars. They don't know how to relate to any of these middle of the country states. So they just pick one thing. And it's like, okay. So that really cracked me up. So not Iowa. I apologize, Iowa.
It's okay. Evansville,
Right.
Wisconsin,
Evansville,
Iowa.
Yep, Evansville.
Starts with a
to
W.
those New York media people, we're all the same anyway. So
that's right. Somewhere in the Middle West.
Somewhere in the Middle West. So that interview where he, of course, lost his mind and insulted her. And I will just touch on the collective rage felt by women everywhere when he called her darling and tapped her on the shoulder as he stood up. Because all of us women have stories of in professional environments when we have been belittled by a man, called honey, darling, or sweetie, and patted on the shoulder, to make us complacent and hopefully shut us up. So the fact that Kristen Welker was able to stay composed in that moment, knowing that she had to, because we are just kind of trained socially that if we as women react, or even people of color, you don't want to be the black angry man. Remember Obama, he always had to be real low and quiet. He could never be seen as angry. The same is true for a woman. Somebody like Kristen Welker, who's been a professional for a long time, she knows if I react at all, the narrative is flipped and I'm the emotional woman. Trump is allowed to be as irate and unhinged as he wants to be. And if she would have shown even a fraction of that, it would have been a really different story. So,
interesting.
Because
I did catch that when he said darling on the way out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought the one thing about, a couple things. One, I love Kristen Welker. I think she's a great reporter. And also, I thought in that moment, I had seen Trump react worse. So he was just kind of like, hey, let's go, everybody, let's get out of here. And he stood up. I'm thinking of the Leslie Stahl interview, the other times when he's really got pissed. So in a way, I was like, this is less angry than we see President Trump sometimes.
I sort of took it like that also, but that's interesting because I'm not a woman.
Right.
And when this is my ignorance, okay, Corinne? When he walked out, I thought he was trying to be nice when he said that. I did.
Hey, class, everyone bring 5.
No.
Whoa.
Yeah.
It's kind of a little patronizing, right? For sure. And I mean, I think
totally.
I wonder though, I'm thinking, okay, the guy's 80. I'm not trying, and by the way, not defending Donald Trump, right? Not defending him here, but I was like, dude, this is the old guy, man. He is like old, and he's just like getting up, and he's like, all right, see you, honey, or whatever. See you, darling. I mean, not that it was appropriate, but it was like, this guy, man, you know, I don't know. I mean, I'm like you, Tom. Maybe I'm getting a little bit older, so like I wasn't like giving him a pass, but I was just, and I didn't react the same way you did, Corinne. I mean, I'm a 57-year-old white guy, but I get what you're saying for sure.
Yes.
Has everyone seen it? Do we want to watch it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have it?
Could we watch it real quick?
Yeah, because it's really just those last few seconds where he.
Okay, here we go.
Let me see if this is it.
Networks, right? You're one-sided, crooked networks, right? Let's call it quits because I've had enough. Thank you, darling. Have a good time. Your elections are crooked, and you're crooked, and Meet the Press is crooked, and so is ABC and CBS and CNN.
But Mr. President,
you're one-sided, crooked networks, right? Let's call it quits because I've had enough. Thank you, darling. Have a good time.
Mr. President.
Okay, he was being
now
a dick.
I did not see that part.
He was being a dick.
I saw it when he got up.
Yeah, I think he was.
He
being
was
a dick.
bad.
Yeah, that
he
was
was
really
worse than
bad.
I thought. I take it back.
Yeah.
My take was that was all part of the plan. He was going to
Oh,
leave.
without
No,
a
he
doubt,
was.
John.
He
Then why
planned
would-
on leaving because this is just another way to distract us from the Epstein files. Honestly, that's just where I'm at right now.
And and to John's point with the Epstein information, I mean, when you add even putting Epstein aside, because Trump has not been found guilty in any venue of participating in any of those crimes, but he has been adjudicated as a rapist in a civil trial by a jury of his peers. Appeals have been upheld. We have seen him on camera bragging about grabbing women by the you-know-what. So when you couple the patronizing language of darling with a pattern of behavior of aggressive sexual violence and predatory behavior, I mean, even just him bragging about walking through the Miss USA pageant dressing room when they're naked, that's a predator. That's a predator. You are a 19-year-old woman. You can't do anything to protect yourself in that situation. So when I see those moments, I think this is how emboldened he is to act like this on camera.
Right.
I grab him by the P word. Darling, pat on the shoulder, walk away.
Step on the microphone.
Yep, step on the microphone.
Do you think he did that
I
on
didn't
purpose?
see that.
I didn't see that either.
Oh, he
Just-
threw the microphone on the ground, stepped on it,
and then
walked
stepped
out.
on it, like like the entitled toddler he's always been. I mean, that to me is, there are so many different ways to look at it, but I think to discount kind of the toxic, aggressive, masculine view, that behavior that he has demonstrated his entire life, would be short-sighted.
Yeah, he was worse than I thought. I did not see the whole clip. So, John, thank you.
It was
for
awful.
that.
I've been called pumpkin before.
Wow.
In my 40s. I have been called pumpkin in a meeting. And I have been dismissed for being
that's not good.
Wow.
And when I said, okay, I know y'all like to use the word millennial as like a slur for young people, but I'm 40. Okay, but it is a way to patronize women and hopefully to just shut them up because
Hey,
you
Corinne,
don't like
this reminds me of a situation I found myself in with a female police officer one time. I have, I don't know if it's a bad habit, but sometimes I hug when I'm saying hello. And I hugged this officer, and she was really uncomfortable. And she made it a point to me, like, I'm really uncomfortable hugging. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
It's interesting, huh? I mean, it's sort of, it's like, and I've made it a point to shake hands a lot more often. It's it's just more of a nervous habit with me. It's not that I'm trying to like grope or anything, obviously. It's like, but in that case, she's like, Mayor, I'm much more comfortable shaking your hand. And I was like, I am so sorry.
Yeah, and just kind of knowing you, Tom, I mean, you do that to guys, you hug them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And it is what I'll say, Tom. I mean, I think it speaks to your character that you were willing to hear that information and see it through someone else's experience.
Yeah.
And not immediately because a lot of men would have reacted to that. Oh my God, what a frigid bitch.
No, you know
what?
what?
A bitch, right?
I put myself in her spot because I figure if you're a female police officer, and she's been on the force for a while, by the way, she's probably dealt with a lot of stuff over the course of her career, especially early, Because now if you're a woman officer, it's a lot easier, I imagine, than it was 20 years ago, right?
We got a long way to go.
Listen, I don't think it's easy.
Progress.
I don't think it's easy being a woman police officer.
No, but
because even if your fellow officers treat you well, the public may not.
Yes, they don't take you seriously,
Right.
and that's something. No matter how old you get, that's to think of, I don't know how old Kristen Welker is, but she's not 15. She's not a child. She's a professional who's been doing this for a long time.
And she's interviewing the president. I mean, she's doing all right.
Interviewing the president on Meet the Press.
Right. Yeah. The longest running television news show in history.
Darling, and patted on the shoulder as he.
The way he said it was not right. He said it pissed. Because if he was being nice, I mean, like, if you're like, okay, thanks, darling, that's not great. But like when he's like, thanks, darling, and then he puts a microphone on the ground, steps on it,
and then walks out and pats her on the shoulder and walks.
Oh, that was so gross. But that moment overshadowed another, because you have to remember, okay, so that's the president of the United States. National television, making international news, behaving like that. That is humiliating.
Right.
Next humiliation that I think got a little overshadowed by that humiliation was Pete Hegseth speaking at the D-Day ceremony in France.
I don't think I saw that one.
I didn't either.
I didn't either,
my God. See, it's
that's why we're like bears and
really.
That's why we have you on, Corinne.
Right. Thank you for updating us, Corinne.
I gotta look this up too now. Right.
Horrific. So Hegseth was not invited to the international D-Day ceremony. He was not welcome there. So he went to Normandy to the cemetery where the American soldiers are buried, and he spoke there.
Is that where Trump wouldn't go out in the rain? Same cemetery? Back in the first term?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, his hair. Yeah. Humidity. So I will read you this, and I want you to remember, like, this is not CPAC. This is not a Republican rally, okay? This is D-Day in Normandy. I'll read you this little part.
I love this already. I haven't even heard it. I love it already.
Yep.
I mean, pretty sacred place, by the way.
Sacred place. And he talked about storming the beaches, yada, all the regular fare. Then he says, sadly, today, different European beaches are stormed by different dangerous ideologies.
Oh, my God.
Beaches in Spain, Italy, Greece, Bulgaria, boats and men arrive. When will European capitals do something about that invasion? Or is it too late? The men who died here fought to restore freedom to Europe. That freedom must be maintained by this generation of warfighters, or what they fought for was merely temporary.
What's the purpose of that?
He's running for president. That's the only thing I can think of when I hear a quote
why
like
say that in Normandy? You're trying to
this day.
You're trying to get those leaders in hot water over immigration.
Yeah.
So he wants to. He wants what's happening in America to happen in Europe as well,
Let's
right?
make a political statement about immigration.
That's right. And so that the right picks that up in Europe, and they start
and that it. And I mean, the parties, the alt-right parties in Italy, UK, Germany have been gaining traction, and it is a very anti-immigration, anti-Muslim platform. The mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, is a Muslim man. That is he's one of Trump's favorite targets. And the idea that Hegseth is standing in a place where thousands of people died fighting fascism, spouting fascist rhetoric about immigrants, disgusting. Yeah. I mean,
especially I noticed there were literally like 4 or 5, like some of the last D-Day survivors were there, like 102 years old.
Yeah.
100,
really?
Showing up for a political event.
And you get to hear this guy.
Right.
They should be the ones being honored and the people that they. I hope they did too.
Yeah, right.
I hope they did too.
Because I honestly I can't imagine. I mean, I have heard from people. I've not been to Normandy, but the people who go there are moved. It is a moving place. When you see that beach and you think about even just on a great day with a water bottle and snacks, having to hike up that beach, it's rough. Okay. So then you picture these kids, really, I mean, these are 19, 20-year-old. These are some of the youngest men in the war, babies. When you put yourself there, it really is an emotional, moving experience. Even just looking at pictures online, you can kind of see what they went through. And to think that that was Hegseth's opportunity
right.
to bring this disgusting rhetoric when World War II was not fought about immigration, you asshole.
Right.
And I to think of the thousands of people who are buried in that area who died to fight fascism, now hear people like Trump and Hegseth just take out the word Jew and put in the word Muslim and act like
or immigrant.
What they're doing is no different. I really hope, and it does seem that the rest of the world is reacting more strongly to that than the United States is.
Yeah,
so
I was going to say, Corinne, it seems like, I mean, I think Europe has its immigration issues, but it like you see election results like Hungary.
Yeah.
I think the scales have to balance here soon, even in America, because it's too far one way or the other, man.
Well, Corinne, thanks again for coming on. Obviously, Tuesdays are Straight Talk with Corinne, so we appreciate your visit and setting us straight.
Always.
Don't use pumpkin. Don't use darling. I'm working.
I appreciate it. Don't hug. Yeah,
we got all kinds of lessons today.
Fist bumps.
That's all of us can do, right? All of us can learn, and when we know better, we do better.
That's
I
it.
agree.
That's just the fun part of life.
It's wisdom, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Thanks, Corinne. Awesome.
Straight Talk with
to see you
Corinne.
guys.
Always live
See you next
from
week.
live from Elkhart, Indiana. It's good to see you, Corinne. Thank you very much.
See you too.
All
Bye.
right, see you next week.
Until next Tuesday.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, let's go ahead and do some ads. And when we get done with our ads, we will have Vop Osili, candidate for Indianapolis mayor. He's a current councilman in Indianapolis, running for mayor. He's going to be in studio live. And Zach Brown, I imagine, will be in here as well. My former campaign manager, current campaign manager for Vop Osili. So looking forward to both of them. So stick with us. In the meantime, we're going to cover some 219 development and Bauer Construction, a longtime friend of the show and a premier studio sponsor. This powerhouse duo represents two outstanding companies deeply invested in building and supporting our hometowns, 219 Development and Bauer Construction. 219 Development is focused on smart, responsible redevelopment across northern Indiana, and Bauer Construction is the boots-on-the-ground team that brings those visions to life. These aren't just builders, they're community partners. If you want to build something meaningful in the region or wherever your vision takes you, start with 219 Development and Bauer Construction. Reach them at 219-268-8484.
MCR Partners is your one-stop destination for top-notch expertise in economic development, finance, and planning. With a dedicated team geared up to tackle your projects head-on, they're your go-to comprehensive solution providers. Dive into the world of economic development with MCR Partners and let them guide you through the maze of opportunities. Stay in the loop and connected by hitting up their website at mcrpartnersllc.com. Or for tailored assistance, don't hesitate to reach out to Matt Reardon at 219-741-9511.
Misprint Printing. Elevate your brand with Misprint, the premier printing and sign solution in Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana. With a 40-year legacy of excellence, their experienced team, led by Rick Baltensberger, combines innovation and technology to deliver top-quality signs and printing, always on time and within budget. Conveniently located in Munster and Hammond, Misprint is your partner for creating impactful visual solutions that leave a lasting impression. Visit them at misprintusa.com to bring your vision to life today.
The Branding Room Floor. Don't let your business get lost in the shuffle of generic branding and aimless marketing. The Branding Room Floor in Northwest Indiana, or is Northwest Indiana's best full-time, full-service marketing agency, providing data-driven results to help your business grow in a crowded market. From website development, digital advertising to graphic design and branding, the Branding Room Floor will set your business or organization on a clear path to strategic success. Don't wait another day to get started. Visit thebrandingroomfloor.com today.
I'm going to give Cantrell and Cantrell their money's worth today.
Oh,
you guys ready? I don't do this often.
Here come John's lips.
Cantrell and Cantrell, attorneys at law. Are you injured or in trouble with the law? Give Cantrell and Cantrell a call and schedule your consultation with someone who is in court and at the jail every day. Call John Cantrell at 219-554-4LAW or visit their website at bettercallcantrell.com. John and his wife, Kristen, make a great team and are waiting to hear from you.
Bug Guys Pest Control, Hammond, where the wind off Lake Michigan hits harder than a Bears goal line stand in December, and traffic on the Borman feels like a full-blown blitz. The Bug Guys are your hometown pest defense, knocking out ants like they're clocking in for a long shift at the fire station, kicking roaches off your kitchen counter like they tried cutting through Calumet Avenue at 5 p.m., and sending spiders out of your basement faster than a plow truck on the first big snowfall. Because around here, if it crawls, buzzes, or bites, it's playing on the wrong field, and the Bug Guys bring that monster Midway energy straight to your home. Bear down, bugs out, the Bug Guys Pest Control. 219-810-7481.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks to our sponsors. First off, Kevin doesn't do his part. It's and to our studio sponsor.
Oh, and to our studio sponsor, Power Indiana, Lake County.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome Vop Osili to our studio.
Yes.
Vop is one of Indiana's most recognizable local government leaders and a longtime public servant in Indianapolis. Born in Lagos, Nigeria, and raised in Indianapolis, Osili earned a degree in architecture from Carnegie Mellon University and a master's degree in architecture and urban design from Columbia University. Before building a career in both design and public service, Vop is a founding partner of an Indianapolis-based architectural firm and has served on numerous civic and nonprofit boards throughout central Indiana. He was first elected to Indianapolis City-County Council in 2011, served as council president from 2018 through 2026, making him one of the longest-serving council presidents in Indianapolis city history. Throughout his career, he has been closely involved in issues ranging from neighborhood development and economic growth to workforce development, public safety, protecting Indianapolis residents from housing displacement. Earlier this year, he announced his candidacy for mayor of Indianapolis in the 2027 election, becoming one of the first major candidates to enter the race. Joining us today on Left to Center podcast, please welcome Indianapolis City County Councilor and 2027 mayoral candidate, Vop Osili. Welcome to the studio, Vop.
Hey, thank you, Mayor.
It's good to see you, bud.
Hey, you too.
Welcome. And to Zach Brown. Zach, you're running the campaign for Vop?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Get over there. Bring that over
Pull
there.
that up. You guys got to pull it
Stretch
close. You got to pull that one close.
It's on an arm.
Yeah, just pull it, man.
Just pull the arm. Pull the arm towards you.
There you go. All right.
These, honestly, these.
I like to lead.
These, I put it literally. I rest it right on my chin. So, yeah, that's probably the show title. So,
I think I would have.
I rest it right. So, hi, welcome to the studio, Vop.
Hey, thank you so much.
We cover Indianapolis a lot. You know, we've Mayor Joe's been on quite a few times, and we talk about Indianapolis all the time. So it's an honor to have you in the studio.
Honored to be here.
Vop, you and I first met when he ran for Secretary of State. So I met this guy, and his Vop at the time was Voice of the People, and Vop ran for Secretary of State, and him and I just hit it off. I was trying to remember, is that 2010?
2010.
Yeah, and then so Vop runs, gets the nomination, and little did we know in 2010 that was the year that
It was a Tea Party year.
Not a great year.
that was the year
it was
that
a tough
the
year.
Republicans started
It was a tough year.
started exerting their influence over the state of Indiana. But Vop and I became friends, and I've been friends with him ever since. And just a great guy. He ended up going on into Indianapolis, becoming a county councilman. County city councilman, and just doing great work, man. I'm super proud.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's great to have
Yeah, I
you.
remember that year. I mean, that was a big year, 2010. Pete Buttigieg was running for treasurer.
Yeah.
You were running for Secretary of State. I mean, that's one thing you guys have in common, right? It's running statewide. I mean, it's an amazing experience.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Especially, I went to every single county. So
Yeah. No,
Vop,
Vop, you were I
tens of
loved
thousands
you.
of miles.
I loved you as a candidate.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. And I
You
remember
love me more, though, as a Secretary of State.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, love you more as a mayor,
Oh, my God. I love this guy.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, you've done a great job, man. It's been an honor to watch you over the years. You've just been professional and excellent. Right now, which district do you represent?
District 12. So it's sort
That
of...
was changed recently, right?
Yeah. During our own redistricting. Yeah. Yes. That went without controversy. I just want to make sure you know that.
Right.
Yeah. So it's most of downtown and then the near west side.
Near West Side. So do you get all the way out to Speedway, or is that too far?
Just to the edge of Speedway.
Nice.
Yeah.
See, I know my Indianapolis.
I love it.
Yeah.
Mayor likes to, he knows his Indy.
Yeah, I love, honestly, we've been going to Indy for 25 years.
I mean,
so.
and have you been on the City County Council continuously since 11?
Yes.
Okay, so you're in your, what is that, I've got to count.
14th year.
14th year, okay.
Yeah.
And you were president of the City County
years.
Council for 8 years.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty big honor and really testament to your ability to lead that place. What's the by the way, how many are on the City County Council?
Well, they're 25.
25.
Yeah.
It gets complicated.
It gets.
That's why he was like, well.
What do you mean? What's the breakdown right now?
So we have 17 who caucus with the Democrats, 5 who caucus with, 6 who caucus with the Republicans, and there are 2 who sort of caucus alone.
Okay, is Jesse
I
Brown
mean,
one of those
singularly
two?
or together?
He is?
Yeah, he's one.
No, because I see him. I don't know Jesse Brown, Councilor Jesse Brown. I don't know him, but for some reason I'm on his algorithm. Like the stuff he puts out comes right to me.
Right.
And he calls him. Is he a socialist? He calls himself a socialist, right?
Democratic socialist. I
Right.
guess
So,
is
but
the
he
term,
caucuses with the Democrats, or he just caucuses alone.
No, he caucuses on his own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're basically you were the city council or city county council president, and you caucus with the Democrats. So 17.
That's correct.
Right, and so you have obviously a good majority there.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
In Indianapolis, one of the questions I had for you was like your background in architecture, right?
Yeah.
And like you have kind of Indianapolis is in the middle of a little bit of a renaissance with housing and things like that downtown. So I was just curious, like how your background has helped you kind of envision Indianapolis as it's moving forward.
So what's really helped is having worked overseas as well. So I worked around the country, worked in 3 different continents, helped to build some skyscrapers, in fact. It does help in how I'm thinking about architecture and how I'm thinking about what our downtown looks like, what it could look like, and having a vision for the future about of our city. And we are moving. I mean, it is an amazing place to be. That's why I'm running for mayor, because we're ready for that next step. back in like the late 70s and early 80s, a great decision was made, and that was, let's make this into the amateur sports capital of the country.
Sure was.
And so we are living on that legacy right now. Well, it's time now for us to be thinking, what do the next 40 years look like? How are we investing going forward? Where does that money go? Where does that attention go? And it's a combination of a couple of things. One, we're going to continue to build on our downtown because it is an amazing downtown, walkable, compact, full of activity. But we're also going to be investing in our neighborhoods in an intentional way. I really believe that almost every neighborhood needs to have its own economic engine so that folks can, they don't have to get on a bus and go, 17,000 miles, to another county, to get work, that kind of thing. When the opportunities need to be right there at their fingertips. And with that comes, retail, it comes grocery stores, the parks, all those things that go together. And then how are we building more housing, more opportunities for housing and affordable housing, great housing? That's my own vision, and I think being an architect does help me to think about that in the more physical form, not just in policy, but what does it look like, and how does it enhance, every single community, every neighborhood. I want folks to wake up in the morning feeling like proud. This is my neighborhood, because then what comes with that? It comes, this sense of protection,
ownership.
You're not coming here and messing up my neighborhood. This is ours, and I love that, and that's what I think great designers have done, over the centuries. It's what our city needs to be doing now for the next 30 and 40 years, reinvesting back in our neighborhoods and our communities.
It seems to me like, in Lake County, we have a migration of people that's gone away from the urban core and are sliding south, going south of 30. And it's a lot more Republican the further south you slide here. Seems like in Marion County, Indianapolis, you have the same kind of thing happening currently except for it's the opposite direction. It's sliding north away from the city, going into the Carmels, going into the Zionsvilles, going into that area. How do you plan on, is that a problem for the city? And
no, it's not a problem because we're going to make sure that they come back.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I like it.
Our city is going to be a magnet. Folks will want to live. Folks will want to come back. One of the challenges that we have, obviously, are things like infrastructure. Well, we will be addressing infrastructure. That's a basic. Infrastructure, housing, public safety and all those things. But it's going to that next step. What does that look like when you add on the added bonuses of well-planned and well-thought-out, futures for our city? So they'll be back. It's a cycle.
Because I see friends of mine that there was proud Northsiders, and now they live in Carmel.
And the
funny thing is,
Democrat.
as a result of this, you're starting to see the Carmels of the world turn more purple because the Democrats that used to live in Indy are moving into Carmel and changing their politics.
I love that. I love that
too. That's a nice result of it. But I also understand that just like in Lake County, that hollows out the urban core, which is no good, right?
Well, but here's the great part. We have almost 30,000 people, maybe even over 30,000 people who moved back into our downtown. And if you think about it, 40 years ago, downtown was, dead after 5.
You're right.
30,000 with the goal of let's get to 50,000. Let's make it into an amazing, neighborhood.
It seems like when you guys hosted the last Super Bowl, it seems like there was a lot more retail options. More housing options being about.
Yes, and retail.
And retail for sure.
And even more now. And then when we start adding on the development of our riverfront, we've cleaned up our river,
beautiful.
$2 billion. When we start developing along that, and that is my own plan. Been working with the universities over there and with the State House. When we start building that up, my God, we will have a city where you can actually be like these other cities, with riverfront activities. Retail, housing, paths and trails. That is my vision for our downtown to make it into something that continues to attract individuals to come back.
I still love going to. I love going to Indy anyway, and I can't wait to see like this, future development. It's going to be awesome. I was just curious, Vop, what's the annual budget of the city that the council passes annually?
So it'll probably be about $1.7 billion.
Wow.
So last year it was 1.6 plus billion. Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's a lot of zeros.
It's a lot of zeros. It's a lot of zeros.
It's an important job.
It is. And it's the council's job, obviously, as a fiscal body, to make sure that those funds are well appropriated.
What percentage? Because I hear Mayor Tom all the time when he's explaining the city's budget, City Hammond's budget, to talk about how much of it is captured by public safety. Is it similar in
Mine's
Indianapolis?
2/3.
Yeah. So I think our budget last year, when we break it out, was just under $400 million. So, it's the largest part, output that we have, the largest segment of our budget. For
you
sure.
know, I'm a triathlete. I know it's hard to believe, but one of the things
I've read your history.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Indianapolis had
you were quite something.
The Indianapolis Tri. Honestly, they haven't been running it lately. I don't understand that. And I know it was a private event that was run, but I'll tell you, like, you started off with the swim in the canal. You swim down the canal. You get on your bike. You go all over the river area, the riverfront that you're talking about,
right.
and then you finish off with the 6 mile run. But they stopped running it over the last few years, and I thought it was honestly the Indianapolis Tri starting off in the canal made it truly unique, and that's something I tell you. I think that a mayor's candidate brings in thousands of people.
Taking notes.
When's the last time you did it? 22?
3 years ago. Yeah.
23?
3 or 4 years ago. Yeah.
Okay.
And it was the last time they ran it.
Senate race.
And then like I was mad at myself because I swam the stupid canal with a wetsuit and I was being such a wimp. And I was like, next year I'm going in bareback.
Right.
And they stopped running it then. So
well, it'll be back
as a new mayor. Yeah,
it'll be back.
Do that for me, Bob.
There it is.
There you go.
It'll be back.
Clip that one, John. Yeah, we're playing it back.
We'll get back with the
thank you, Vop.
the sports corp on this.
Sir.
I promise you that.
No, it was truly unique, and I mean, you got to see all the best parts of Indianapolis. It's just wonderful. I love the canal. It's just a super cool area.
Oh
yeah.
You know, one of the things when I was reading a little bit about your biography, Vop, that was interesting to me was the fact that you and your mom and your sisters came over from Nigeria. So could you just talk about like a little bit of like your history? I'd love to hear that story.
So everyone knows, my mother's American. She grew up in Indianapolis.
Okay.
She was 4th generation. I'm 5th generation. My father came from Nigeria, and they met at Purdue. Yes.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's awesome.
Are we going to shake? Are we going to like clap or something, or is that?
My son's at Purdue. I'll clap.
I would think so.
Yeah.
Patrick.
Everybody in my family went to IU or Notre Dame. Patrick's the only one that went to Purdue and West Lafayette.
Right.
So
yeah. So they got married. She moved with him to Nigeria. That's where I was born. Nigeria had a civil war, and my mother, being an American, had not signed up for that.
She had our Civil War a while ago.
I didn't sign up for the Nigerian Civil War. I think I'm going.
I think she felt like, I think I'm good. I'm good, honey. So I'm going to take the kids, and then we're going to go back home. And so,
how old were you then?
I was 4.
Wow. Do you remember it?
I do remember. I remember us leaving. I remember the fear of us trying to get on a plane, and our names having been taken off of the manifest. Our names, sort of like difference between like Smith and Schmidt, that, one is more Germanic, one is, more English. My last name sort of relates to that kind of thing. And the folks from where my father came from were seceding from the rest of the country. We're trying to secede. And, there was just a lot of fear. Luckily, my mother, as an American, had a number of American friends, especially American friends who were with, the embassy. And they got us basically forced onto a plane.
Wow.
And I remember the walk to the plane because, as I said, the manifest was taken off. Our names were taken off. And being escorted onto a plane, being walked to a plane just to make sure that we were on. And on that first leg of the flight, that, it was a Pan Am flight that went from Lagos to New York. As I said, my mother was coming home. The first stop, I believe, was Accra. And Pan Am, God bless them, Pan Am was willing to put more people on the plane than they had seats.
Wow.
And
so people were sitting on the floor and stuff?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
There was an exodus. There was a desire to get
dramatic.
out. Yeah.
Did that shape you? I mean,
of
course it shaped you. How
in many ways. In many,
do you
many
approach
ways.
your job differently because of going through something like that?
Yeah, there's a sensitivity I have to people who are either shunted, to the side or disregarded. It's why I started off, my time on the council dealing with reentry, and people being sort of shunted, like, you don't belong here, you shouldn't live here, and all that kind of stuff. And then changing the law for the city of Indianapolis, leading that charge to get rid of the box on application forms and ask about
ban the
criminal
box.
history. Yeah. It's not that we won't ever find out, but we're not going to judge you before we see you. And then only on a second interview, not on the first, on a second interview, is it open season. Let's find out about your background. Because otherwise, you don't know how old they were, what the severity of it was. You don't know any of those things. All you see is a checked box. And, I'm judging you on something that I don't even know.
Right.
You might have been, 18 and now you're, 50.
Could be a marijuana misdemeanor.
Absolutely.
Right.
But it's a checked box.
I've been convicted.
Right. So it built a sensitivity in me let us be fair to as many people as possible, and to be really sensitive. And in the area where my mom grew up, because when we moved back to a place called Hallville, you know Indianapolis well enough to know Hallville?
No, I'm not sure I do.
Okay, well,
You
it's
know
just
Long's Donuts? I think you.
Yeah, I
know.
know Long's Donuts.
It's in
Right in the
Hallville.
middle of
All right, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, wow. I know where a donut place is.
There you go.
That's all you had to say.
I knew the point of reference to give you.
I'm a triathlete. Remember that? Triathlete that loves donuts.
man. It's what got you through those tough runs.
Yeah.
That's right.
Growing up there, it also gave me a sensitivity to, because there wasn't a great deal of wealth. My grandparents did not have money, but what they did have was dignity, and they had some pride, and they'd been in their home for years and years, and it put something inside of me that our neighborhoods, regardless of what the the income level might be, they need that level of dignity. I've shared with people before. The last morning I saw my grandfather, the morning that he died, he was sweeping up in front of our house. He was sweeping the sidewalk. And it wasn't because anybody was looking. It was because he just had this pride. This is my neighborhood, and I'm going to do my part. And he was a plumber. Grandma was a school teacher. The picket fence was always painted. There was not a weed that was allowed to survive. Do you know what I mean? Grandma would wrestle it to the ground, if you know what I mean. There was just that, and that's what I want to see in our neighborhoods.
Well, that's what you're going back to what you said earlier, right? You were saying, like, when you have some sort of either ownership in your neighborhood or pride in your neighborhood, that means you take care of it, and you don't want other people to disrespect it.
Exactly.
And if you can go neighborhood by neighborhood,
absolutely,
you're going to have
there's going to be that sense of a strong neighborhood, and you get enough of those, and you get a really strong city. A city that believes in itself, like your city.
Thank you.
There's this thing of, this is mine. I'm proud to come from Indianapolis. And those folks become the best ambassadors that we have for attracting other people to come to our city.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see.
So you get elected after this tough campaign, and then you get into office, and the council's with you. What's the first thing you want to take? What's the first projects you're going to start tackling?
It's our neighborhoods.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. I mean, I'll say this. The basics. You got to do the basics. We got to deal with these potholes. We won't even go down that road.
Yeah.
It's affordable housing. It's public safety. But it is the intentional investment in the same way that Indianapolis was intentional about growing its sports sort of character. It is, we're investing in our neighborhoods. Our neighborhoods are where the heart of our city is. That's where our folks are. It'll be that. It will be, what are the economic plans? How are we doing it? What do the neighbors want to see? What do the residents want to see? Oh, yeah.
I remember when Mayor Joe got elected, him and I talked. I think he might have even been mayor-elect. And he was like, what do you think about all this? And I said, Mayor, when I go through the neighborhoods of Indianapolis, one thing that sticks out to me is that I don't live there, obviously. And when I'm in a neighborhood, they're really dark. And it strikes me because I'm from the region. And I tell you, if we had dark areas, I think – and that's one thing about Indianapolis that strikes me even to this day. And I know you guys have done a lot better trying to light up the neighborhoods, but that's one thing. You get into some of the neighborhoods and it's literally darker than it is, and I'm used to in the region,
But there's been a great deal of improvement.
Absolutely.
Yeah. With a very focused effort to relight our city.
Good.
To identify those lights that are out or where we don't have lights at all. And that will continue. Those things have to continue. We've got to have, I think having a background in urban design, right, and in architecture, you've got to have those basic elements of your environment taken care of. And, in darkness, all kinds of things happen.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
I know that.
Yeah. Things that are unpleasant.
Could I ask you a little bit about the politics of what's going on right now?
Sure.
Obviously, Indianapolis has a Mayor Joe. He's been on Lockpod a number of times. He's, and I know that Mayor Joe's still holding fundraisers. Is that of concern? I mean, I imagine, honestly, though, if I wasn't, let's say inside, I wasn't planning on running for mayor again, and if I was, I would probably have fundraisers because he still support other people. He still have political expenses, right? So is there any, I know that there's been some concern about Mayor Hegseth still raising money. Is
he in? Is he out?
How does your campaign handle that?
Well,
question?
Our campaign looks at it like this, as a mayor, just as you said a moment ago, there is a need to show relevance, and one way to show relevance is to have some funds in your,
for sure,
right,
good piggy bank,
exactly, which then gives you some sway over who gets elected next, who you know what I mean. It's some flex. How about that? I'll just put it like that. It's some flex, but it does not deter or does not impact my campaign.
You're full speed ahead.
Oh, I'm running. Yeah, without question. Yeah.
That's good to know.
That
Yeah,
is
good.
good to
And then,
know.
and of course, Senator Hunley's kind of she's announced her intentions to run. Somebody else that has been on the scene now for a little bit in a state legislative function, not in yours. And I assume that it's kind of like, hey, game on, let's go.
Yeah, yeah. And there's another fellow who's also joined. His name
I
is
just
David
saw
Bride.
it. I just saw that.
No, I mean,
He's
it's going to be great.
Public Works employee, right?
Exactly.
No, right.
He's been around the party for a while.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I know
he
that
was a
guy.
party
I know that
secretary
guy.
for a minute. Yeah, you know him, right?
Yeah, Public Works employee.
Exactly.
I read his interview right before I got here today.
Mhm.
Yeah, seems like a nice guy.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
He really is. He really is. And he's been really helpful. We spoke this weekend, in fact, and last weekend, I should say, about a young man that I'm mentoring and trying to make sure that he gets a job. This young man actually has a record, and he is working to, put that behind him. And we want to encourage that.
Mm-hmm.
And Public Works has always been, I think, really always ready to help folks out who want to help themselves, who want a better life.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Yeah.
Public Works for me, a lot of entry-level jobs, and they start off in Public Works and they bounce out to other parts of the government, but usually that's where they start.
And you see, I think, like you said, Vop, part of it's giving somebody a chance. And I know the mayor's done this in Hammond a lot of times. He'll give you a chance, but it's what you do with the chance, right?
Exactly.
And
exactly.
Because I know several times he's seen people come in, they can't make it. They
flame
can't show
out.
up to work every
They
day.
flame out.
They don't
out.
make it,
Yeah.
right? But
We can
there's
get-
other
we-
people
we
that
can get you
see
to
and
the
say,
door.
boom,
Right.
they explode. They're like great. They
Exactly.
end up going up right
and
through
those
the
are
ranks.
the ones that we want to make sure are stable, secure, have an income, because that impacts their families. That impacts their kids.
And their neighborhoods.
And their neighborhoods. And, you can see how the ripple works.
Yeah, man.
Right? Yeah. That's my goal.
I've always considered you and Mayor Joe to be allies. That's accurate, right?
Yeah.
Right. Because honestly, Vop, I've known you a long time, okay? And I've monitored your career for a long time. And I know 4 years ago, there was a lot of talk about you possibly running for mayor 4 years ago, right?
That's right. I did want to run 4 years ago.
And
but here's what I did.
The impression I got was you took a pass because you wanted to support Mayor Joe for one more term. That was the impression I got. I'm not sure if that's true
Well,
or
I'll
not.
correct that just a little bit.
Okay.
I took a pass because I did not want to be disruptive to the party.
Okay.
Right? Because I realized it would be disruptive if I jumped in.
Yeah, man.
And
for sure.
now
Running against
it's
mayor,
like
a big council president running against mayor. That's disruptive.
It is, but that's not my concern now. My concern is I want to be mayor of this city. I've got a vision for where we can be in these next 20, 30 years. I want to hear from our folks, and I want us to do this together. That's my goal. I want folks to want to be here. And I don't care where you come from, what your background is, just that you know that in Indianapolis, if I can get to Indianapolis, my God, I can make it. And for the folks who live in Indianapolis, this is my town, putting a stake in here. I want my kids to come back here. My kids are going to want to come back here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what I want to see. I got 2 kids right now. One's on her way to college. The other's already, in grad school. They're sort of like my benchmark. As soon as they say, I want to move back, I'll know that, okay, yeah.
You're doing something right.
Yeah, I'm doing something right.
Vop, I noticed your great website, by the way. Let's make sure that we put in chat, John, where to look for and donate and learn more about Vop Osili, who's running for mayor in Indianapolis. Vop, what's that website address, or Zach?
www.votevop.com.
You got it.
There you go.
By the way, that headshot is one of the coolest headshots I've seen in politics. I love it. It's Vop standing in front of the river with the skyline in the background.
Yeah, really cool.
Really cool picture, man. As soon as I saw it,
You're looking good.
Like, dang, man.
I appreciate it. But imagine that river with a lot of folks on it.
Yeah.
Having fun.
I agree
folks
with you, Vop.
in the river having fun.
When we did the try, I went up and down the river, and it was pretty remote the whole way. Yeah, I mean, you could build an entire ecosystem around that river. It's beautiful.
Absolutely.
That's
just
a
just
great
like you're about
vision,
to
man.
do, with this new stadium.
I know, it's amazing.
It is amazing. I love it.
I'm like so
well done.
I tell you honestly,
we have push-ups coming at the end.
That's what I hear. Yeah, that's what I hear.
Oh, I heard about those.
Right. Yeah, thanks for egging that on, Jack. Appreciate that.
I think you said you could
push up
three.
I said I got 3. I got 3 in me. Yeah, I used to be able to crank out 25 in the Navy. That ain't happening anymore.
It's all good, man.
But you know what's craziest thing about that? And we're all Democrats. We're all known each other for a long time. The craziest part was just the fact that the Speaker of the House is working so close with me, the leader of the Senate, the governor, like all the people, like everybody that's making this happen for Hammond has always been, on the other side of the fence, never working with me. And now it's one of the most refreshing things I've seen in government in a long time, from my perspective, obviously. Yeah. And I know that, everybody down in the State House loves Indianapolis. They do. Mm-hmm. And I mean, do you think you'd be able to forge those types of relationships with the governor? And
well, I already have, especially I think with the state legislature. You mentioned Speaker Houston. He's been incredibly, helpful on a number of
Isn't he great?
fronts. Michler. I think about others in positions of leadership who helped me get a bill finally passed after 7 years, and that was the capping of the escalation of property taxes in those areas that are getting gentrified.
Oh, nice.
Took 7 years, but we built consensus. We built
that's a
growth.
Is that statewide or is that just Indy?
It's any city or any municipality can now implement it.
That's
and
interesting
so
right now.
We made the Riverside area the pilot just to see what the impact was, right? And I led this charge because it was my own fear of people being displaced because they couldn't afford their property taxes, and thinking about
I'm getting that right now.
what would happen if like that had been my grandparents, right? Where would we have gone? Are you with me? And so Riverside was the pilot. We're now expanding that into 10 other neighborhoods that are heating up. And then the council voted once the bill got passed, and this was in 2023, Senate Bill 46. Once the bill got passed, we took a vote, and the most, if you qualify, the most that your property taxes can go up is 4% year over year.
See, that's really handy information right now. Because one of the big pushbacks I'm getting in Hammond from the Bears is, Mayor, I'm on a fixed income. My property value is going to shoot up, and I'm not going to be able to afford my taxes.
And you should be able to enjoy it.
That's interesting, man. I'm really glad
enjoy
you said
your
that.
investment. You know, you raise your kids, your grandkids. Sometimes maybe
I'm really glad
grandkids.
you told me that. I mean, it's literally a criticism of the plan right now, and it's fairly significant. I'm not saying it's a majority, but it's people. It's loud enough that I hear it.
There's a concern.
Yeah.
That's a really cool thing you just told us about. I'm going to check it out.
All right.
Senate Bill 46.
Look at that.
Senate Bill 46 from 2023.
I got it. Wrote it down.
You got to be 55 and lived in your home for 10 years.
And do we have to do anything locally? Like, do we have to pass it locally?
Yeah. Well, you have to implement. Like, how does it impact you? So, what percentage would your council say? You know, here's the growth.
Right.
And so we, as I said, the Indianapolis City-County Council chose 4%.
4%?
Yeah, max. And Riverside had hefty increases, 20, 30% right after COVID.
Because their assessments are going up so much.
Yeah. It was, and Riverside is, an area that is really kind of on the move. It's the only place, I think, in the city with 3 bodies of water that run through it. It's right adjacent to downtown. I mean, it's a beautiful place.
Is that where the NCAA is and all that?
No.
No, you're talking
something more towards
you're talking more towards
the
the
park.
zoo and
actually, further north.
Okay.
It's north of 16th Street.
Okay.
Yeah,
I got
north
you.
of that street that leads to
I know
Lowe's.
what you're talking about. Yeah. Okay. Right.
want to put in perspective.
Right.
Yeah. So we're going to expand it.
You helped me with that a lot. I appreciate it. Look at that. You come up north and you give me a bill.
Solve a problem.
Dropping knowledge.
I know, man. That's a perfect example of the way you'll be as mayor.
But I say it because I mentioned it because it was about, we may not agree on a whole bunch of other things, between the city and the state. We may not agree. But let's figure out on the things that we can agree upon, let's focus on those and get those done.
You know what's interesting, Vop, is I hear people saying about this Bears deal, one of the most refreshing things they see is the fact that Mayor McDermott and Governor Braun are working so close together. It's inspiring to a lot of people. I think that, that those are big accomplishments. So,
well, Vop, thanks for coming on, man.
No,
Appreciate
it's been
Great
awesome.
To see you.
Yeah,
good to see you too, Zach.
Thanks for driving up here.
Yeah,
you could have zoomed in, but he's like, nope, I want to come to the studio. I appreciate it. It's great to see you, Vop.
You too.
Always,
awesome.
Honestly, I've always liked you. You're just a very great guy, and you'll be a great mayor. There's no doubt about it.
Appreciate it.
Would you please come back on Lockpod with us?
You
don't have to drive up every
and
time.
I
You
might
can
even
zoom
do some
in.
push-ups with you.
Oh,
yeah.
I think I can get to 4.
I thought we got
I can
past-
get to 4.
Yeah,
How about that?
I'm good to 4, damn it. Yeah, don't do it before the election,
Are you
man.
guys doing French Lick this year? Are you going to show
we're
that?
trying.
Yeah.
Are you going to do
We're
a
trying.
Lockpod?
We're trying to coordinate.
We're
No?
not-
Okay.
yeah.
Well, that'd be an easy one. But that's
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
On the
doing
porch?
push-up?
Oh, that would be
porch
great.
show.
Yeah, I could work out all summer and get ready for my 4
there you go.
push-ups.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's great to see you. By the way,
too.
Vop, I love your campaign manager. The guy's like a brother to me.
That's
He
awesome.
was just the perfect campaign manager for me when I was running for U.S. Senate, and I know he's going to be great for you. I know you know that already because you guys have been working together for years. So it's good to see you again, Zach.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you too. So thanks. That's Vop Osili, candidate for Indianapolis mayor. He's also Indianapolis council person, running for mayor next year in the great city of Indianapolis, Indiana's capital city. So that's it, guys. That was medium quality entertainment for the day. I want to thank Kevin Smith, John Vesmar, always, and coming to you live from Lockpod Studio. It's the mayor.
Shout out to Lindsay, by the way. I know she's not here with us in the show anymore.
I know.
Motherhood, man.
Hello to
Motherhood.
Lindsay.
She's not listening.
Allie says hello, by the way.
Tell Allie I said hey.
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely.
Lindsay's never listened to one show she wasn't
Yeah,
on.
that's
So,
fine.
that
tracks.
it's good to see you again, bro. So thanks everybody for listening to Lockpod. We'll be back on Friday with another high quality episode. And I'm not doing push-ups, right?
No.
I don't know if this table could support me.
That's a
Said you
YouTube
weren't.
short, I think.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you pre-record that.
Yeah, pre-record it. Yeah.
Just in case.
Some good
Just in
music.
case.
Yeah,
You don't
we
wanna
are.
go live.
There is a big deal pending in our city right
That's
now.
right. Yeah.
I had
do not embarrass Hammond right
I know.
now, Tom, all right?
I had an Indiana Bears shirt I was going to wear in here, and
Yeah.
I spiked it because I'm
Yeah,
like, dude, they're going to play this in Chicago, piss everybody off.
I bought the Hammond,
Right.
Bears T-shirt
Right.
from the online store.
Right. But
I
like
forget which one.
wearing it on Lockpod, it's just like in their face because the Bears are going to be the Chicago Bears. We all know
Absolutely.
that. We have no intention on.
I can't name them. I can't call them anything.
No, they're the Chicago Bears.
Although that
Hammond,
looks
so.
really good on that signage thing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It said "Welcome Chicago Bears."
Yeah.
Oh, the Key West.
Oh, yeah. That was,
Oh, Key West. The Key West.
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Hammond
So,
Bears, yeah.
Anyway, it's great to see you guys. Thanks for coming up here.
Thank you.
Again, Vop Osili.
All right.
Vop,
All right.
everybody. And
Amen.
thanks, everybody, for listening to Lockpod. We'll see you on Friday. Take care. Lockpod's out.